Good morning. It's Sunday, October 28th. Just got up just a little bit ago. When I made my bed last night, I used one blanket, and I left the other two sitting in here, thinking, do I need three blankets? And what I had been doing is I had one blanket under me, two on top of me. And I just turned down the fan. And when and it was fine going to sleep. And when I woke up, I was a little bit chilly, but not too bad. But I do kind of have a, not really sore, just kind of scratchy throat. And I'm like, was I really cold in the middle of the night and didn't wake up because of it? And I make myself sick? I hope I didn't. But I will be adding back one more of the blankets as a second blanket on top of me. And the other one I'm hoping I can then put away. Obviously, the less I have to use, the better. But, so that's kind of scratchy. I think I'm going to skip church today. Probably spend 10 or 15 minutes and catch up on my C.S. Lewis daily devotional, basically. Which over the last few months, I've fallen like a week and a half behind on. Just usually from days where it's on the weekend, and because I don't have my normal daily routine, I don't remember to pick it up and read it. So I'm going to do that instead. I take a throat lozenge, some ibuprofen. Hope that my throat's better soon. Furthermore, last night, while I was putting my bed together, I remembered, oh wait, I am completely out of tea. That's terrible. But I've gotten to the point I like my tea more and more bitter, which basically the way you do that is you steep it for longer. So I just steeped tea overnight, so it's been like 8 or 9 hours in there. So that should be nice. And I figured that out because, well, I don't really need to use a lid anymore because the gnats are basically gone. It's been like a week and a half probably since I've seen one at all. Praise Jesus. Very glad to finally be gnat-free. But it's still, like, if I'm leaving it for a really long time, like, dust can settle and stuff. So I still put the lid on there. And with that, I'm like, it'll be fine overnight. Nothing will fall into it. Yeah, so I'm gonna get that sorted out. Do some C.S. Lewis readings and put an extra one of the blankets on the bed before putting the other one away somewhere in the closet. And then, in a little bit, I'll be gaming with my buddies, as the plan is Dustin's D&D game today. It's not till like 1. Right now it's like 9:23, because the plan is for it to be after I get home from church. And it was actually kind of cool to read all those back to back because they all more or less were on the same subject of time. Basically, his process throughout multiple books, periods of trying to express God does not see things relevant to time. Which to me is well, duh. But I guess, I mean, I grew up in a world that was long after his time, as we see it. Maybe at that point it wasn't. But, you know, those are all long and complex. I was like, I want to share something. So I went back to something back in July. We got a passage from Mere Christianity that I love and have loved for years. I've known about it long before I read the book. Now that I come to think of it, I remember Christian teachers telling me long ago that I must hate the bad man's actions, but not hate the bad man, or as they would say, hate the sin, but not the sinner. For a long time, I used to think that this was a silly, straw-splitting distinction. How could you hate what a man did and not hate the man? But years later, it occurred to me that there was one man to whom I had been doing this all my life. Namely, myself. However much I might dislike my own cowardice or conceit or greed, I went on loving myself. There had never been the slightest difficulty about it. In fact, the very reason why I hated the things was that I loved the man. Just because I loved myself, I was sorry to find that I was the sort of man who did those things. Consequently, Christianity does not want us to reduce by one atom the hatred we feel for cruelty or treachery. We ought to hate them. Not one word of what we have said about them needs to be unsaid. But it does want us to hate them in the same way which we hate things in ourselves. Being sorry that the man should have done such things, and hoping, if it is any way possible, that somehow, sometime, somewhere, he can be cured and made human again. It's a passage that always hits home, as far as just the way you view other people, trying to view it the same way that it is, so many things I do that I'm like, that was stupid. Why would you do such a thing? And just sort of viewing terrible things others do in the same way. Just because you hate what's been done doesn't mean you have to hate the person. Anyways, the oven just beeped, so it's preheated. I'm gonna heat up the pizza from last night, as well as the spare slice from Little Caesars the day before, and have a little bit of breakfast. That'll make a nice breakfast. Fill up, so I'm ready to game with my friends here shortly. I don't know exactly when. I guess it's 10:30 now, and other than throwing the blanket on the bed, I got the one put away. I gotta throw the blanket that's getting added on the bed. Other than that, I've gotten everything done this morning I needed to. The goal was to game by 1, but that was assuming I was going to church. So when I let them know I'm available earlier, it sounds like we may start earlier. We'll see. Wunderbar!
There's a cat in a raincoat.
Very relevant. Yeah, Nick invited us. We all got to go hang out with the kittens yesterday.
Aww.
To be fair, I hung out with the kittens while they hung out and talked, but clearly that was what he was inviting us to.
I saw them. They were in a bag.
Yeah, there were
Brian say a bag.
The cat carrier. They were fabric-sided cat carriers. But yes, he said a bag.
Should be in a bag.
They look like gym bags, though.
Alright, so I can't remember the exact layout, but I know 2 people were sleeping with Volo.
I was sleeping with Volo, and Bumpy was against his door.
Yeah, I'm sleeping on the floor by the door.
I literally have my tail wrapped around his leg.
We're not so much an adventuring party as amateur mugger.
So just,
He lied to us! He lied!
out of curiosity, does our behavior get us a entry in Volo's Guide to Monsters?
Bolo's Guide to Douche.
No, but it might get us into Volo's Guide to Waterdeep.
Volo's Guide to Waterdeep. Pay up front. Pay up front for everything.
So you all wake up. Those that weren't in Volo's room, there's nothing amiss. Obviously, you're not in that room. David and Adam, you wake up, but you don't see Volo anywhere in sight.
Motherfucker!
But my tail was literally wrapped around his leg.
You can't control what happens to your tail when you sleep.
Oh my gosh. So, Dustin...
Are you still leaning against the door? Wait, we didn't check if the room had windows. Is the window unlocked?
Closed them. But, the thing is
Yeah,
that
you guys wanted to find nails and some boards to nail it shut.
If he escaped this room, when we find him, we cut off his ear. Deal?
Deal.
Got it.
The guard lets you in. You meet with... Her name is Audra, but you meet with her and she says, any news?
Yes, we've collected your note.
I hand her the scroll. She opens it and she reads it, not aloud, but reads it to where you can hear it. twin's evil hides its face for now. Expect that to change before the first frost. She looks at it and goes, I'll just sit on this for a while. I may need you guys at a later date. Expect another message from me, and give you a bag of gold.
10 gold for everybody.
Yes, there's 40 gold in there.
50 gold.
50 gold.
40 gold.
I didn't show up.
Alright.
Wow.
We're level 3.
Third level, yay! All right. By the way, I guess as we're ending this, I am up putting some more bird seed to see what birds we can get in my tower. What a lovely raven I find.
Are you basically just making an excuse to take a familiar?
I am taking that. Yes, I am getting a familiar. And yes, I have been working multiple points during this session with that bird tower, taking a familiar, a raven.
You can just get a bird. You don't have to actually do anything.
Yeah, no.
When you say spell, you just get one.
Yes, how dare you roleplay?
No, I mean, the spell summons forth a metaphysical creature that takes the form of an animal.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just letting you guys know what's going on.
Yeah.
An actual animal doesn't show up at all in the familiar.
And you don't know how Find Familiar works.
In this particular instance, or usually?
No, his character doesn't know.
Yeah, I'm like, that was how it worked in like previous editions. In 5th edition, you just summon a creature that takes the form of an animal.
Alright. Because it's spirit binding that
No
shapeshifts.
animal.
This is awesome. I'm gonna.
Dustin, I sent you a message so you actually know what's going on.
I take some drugs to better commune with my ancestors, and now I have spirit guardians.
Sweet.
Oh, that worked out well. Ooh, good timing. So it's fun gaming with my friends, but boy, did that eat up my day. It is 7:30. We finished probably around a half hour ago, and then we just sort of sat and talked on Discord for a bit. But otherwise, basically, yeah, full day gone. I was kind of hoping to, of course, film a video for whatever the Art and Arcana book, since I didn't get that done yesterday either. But at this point, it's like a couple hours till I gotta be going to bed. I want to figure out something to eat because I'm hungry, and I'm also just kind of a little worn at this point in the day. So I'm not. It's not gonna happen. Oh well. Oh. Message from Mom. So I returned my mom's call because she was just, worried because I didn't make it to church today. And got stuck on the phone for like a half hour. It's just after 8 now, so I have an hour and a half before I have to get to bed. She was, talking things. They did the trunk or treat thing at church today, awesome. For right now, however, as I do only have a little bit of time, I think I'm going to run up to Burger King, get my usual big pile of food, have that for dinner, and get to bed. So I'm going to eat that and go to bed, so I guess I'll say thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues. Bye.